The Johannesburg Magistrate's Court is hearing closing arguments in former Social Development Minister Bathabile Dlamini's case. Dlamini is facing perjury charges for allegedly giving false evidence during an inquiry into the 2017 social grants crisis. eNCA reporter Govan Whittles following that story for us, joining us now live to tell us what actually happened in court. Good afternoon, Govan. Can you just take us through the main items of what happened in court today?
Well, Braden, right now we're getting closing arguments from the representative for Bathabile Dlamini in this perjury trial, and some interesting contentions have arisen. Firstly, Bathabile Dlamini arguing through her advocate through her lawyer that she cannot be guilty of perjury because the fact-finding mission in which she made those statements, which were allegedly false, was not an official judicial proceeding because it was a Section 38 inquiry instituted by the Constitutional Court, and therefore her lawyer argues it's not an official judicial proceeding, and therefore she cannot be charged with perjury because of it. But then she goes a step further. This trial had heard evidence from the former project leader of the work streams, which were looking at how to change the payment of SASSA grants from one provider to the other, and those work streams then interacted with the project leader, and Bathabile Dlamini is accused of lying about the fact that she never interacted with those work streams directly, and she'd been accused by the former CEO of SASSA, Thokozani Magwaza, of interfering in the process to find new contracts to pay the SASSA grants. Instead, she says that yes, she did meet with a number of other SASSA staff, and in that meeting there were also representatives of the work streams, and they did discuss how far along they were in the process of finding a new service provider to pay the grants. But her lawyer argues that there's a difference between actual work stream meetings and those informal meetings where members of the work stream were present, and therefore he argues that she didn't lie when she said that she never met with them directly. In that case, inferring that an official formal meeting would have been required for that to have qualified as a lie. So that's the defense that's been given by Bathabile Dlamini. Of course, the state has said that even the witnesses that were brought to testify in her defense ended up testifying against her because the project leader of the work stream testified that there were meetings where Bathabile Dlamini, as social development minister, was present. And then, of course, the damning testimony by Thokozani Magwaza, who said that Bathabile Dlamini had interfered with the process to find a new service provider. That's her side of the story, Braden. She said that she'll speak to us after everything has wrapped up. At the moment, she does appear confident. She still has members of the ANC Women's League who are here to support her, as well as Tony Yengeni, member of the ANC NEC. But Bathabile Dlamini, for now, remains in the dock, and her lawyer is still trying to convince the magistrate that she didn't lie, and even if she did lie, that the forum where that lie was put on record doesn't qualify as a judicial proceeding. Therefore, she shouldn't be charged with perjury.
Is the prosecution, the state prosecution, still confident that it has a case against Bathabile Dlamini?
It is indeed. That's based on the testimony given by Mr. Magwaza and the fact that the witness, which was brought in, the project leader of the work stream that was brought in to try and defend her, ended up confirming that another meeting did take place. At this point, it seems open to the interpretation of the magistrate, whether she accepts the version by Bathabile Dlamini's lawyer that informal meetings with members of the work stream present, where they did discuss the contracts and how it would be changed, do qualify as actual workstream meetings, and that does mean that they reported directly to her, which she said they didn't. But we know that the state says that those meetings do in fact mean that they did report directly to her, and the claims of interference by Thokozani Magwaza would then be substantiated.
Okay, thank you very much. Govan Whittles there for that update. We'll have to wait and see, maybe catch up with him a little bit later after the closing arguments are done and dusted.